I did not expect. Here we go. Your boy DM is now the Immortal, and we did it as a monk. So, unfortunately, DM the Immortal has been immortalized as the Monk Immortal. So now all of the effort, whatever, who cares that we put all the time and effort in the Necromancer, and the second that we go Monk, it works. But you know what? So be it, okay? It is what it is. I'm memeing, of course, because it took basically the entire combined efforts of all of the clans coming together, and even some clans that aren't in Aftershock. Shout out to Eldon Chad, as well as Stealth Hordes, for winning their battles, too. We had to win 5 of the Shadow battles, okay? Aftershock has never lost any of their battles in the Rite of Exile. We continued to win. 2 other clans won, which was the first time any other Shadow clan won the Rite of the Exile battles, putting us into the Rite of the Exile against the Immortal, in which we won. Hilariously enough, some of the clans had been throwing the entire time on purpose, and one of the clans literally didn't even join the Immortals in the hopes of having it where we couldn't deal enough damage to kill the Immortal. They would rather not lace up than show up to the court to lose and take this L. Luckily enough, we actually beat it literally anyway and became the Immortals anyway. It was pretty fun because in the end of the Rite of the Exile, the Aftershock teams basically went to the left. The rest of all the other clans kind of went to the right. I think one of the clans ended up fighting the rest of them, and ended up being sort of like an 18v9 right around there. Okay, which was actually pretty exciting, to be honest, because it was a little bit nerve-wracking at the moment. Even though we had, you know, solid players and communication and people that I felt confident in their abilities, it's still pretty scary because the reality is, like, it's us versus everybody else in the right. I mean, everyone wants to win the right. Fair is fair. Everyone wants to win. So everyone's out there trying to win, and it's actually pretty nerve-wracking. I'll put up the footage we have the footage of the Rite of the Exile, as well as the actual battleground portion of itself. And it's fairly long. It's going to be, I mean, if you want to see all of it, it's like 30 minutes plus. So I'll upload that in the video following. Subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of that one. I just want to do a quick shout out for this one and say, hey, we did it. Pretty cool, becoming the Immortal. You get a bunch of legendaries after becoming the Immortal. I actually did a magic find. You get 200% magic find, and for like the 5 to 6 hours afterwards that you have that magic find, I did a whole bunch of grinding, got a bunch of new legendaries. You can see here we got a bunch of legendaries. The very first dungeon we did, the 4 of us that did the dungeon together with the bonus magic find, we actually got 9 legendaries combined in the first dungeon, and then we tested it with other people that were having the buff that would go in, and they were giving legendaries right at the start. For whatever reason, right when you start Mad King's Breach, if you get that magic buff after you become the Immortal, you instantly get a legendary right in the beginning of it, just for whatever reason. It happened to like every single person that went in there that we could see. So we were just kind of messing around, testing out with the magic find, which was really fun about it. I'll be honest, the magic find isn't that big of a deal. I've got probably, in the 5 to 6 hours, I probably got what I would consider 5, maybe 8 legendaries. More than maybe I would get used to. I think in the 5 hours, I farmed maybe 15 legendaries. And to be honest, that's not terribly far off what I feel like I was getting anyway. And I was hitting bonkers magic find numbers. We're talking 450% magic find, okay? Because all of us are stacked on top of each other, and we're all running the Realm of Damnation. So it wasn't really that exciting. So if you're wondering what's it like as the actual Immortal himself running around with that huge buff, honestly, the attack speed was cooler than what I thought the magic find was, which does actually tell me one thing. If I'm spending all this money for 15% magic find to get a rank 5 of the 5-star gems, you don't really need to worry about it, because I just ran around with like 450% magic find for 5 hours, for Christ's sake, and it wasn't exciting enough to make me want to like open up my wallet to buy more magic find. Basically is the reality of what that breaks down to. That's just one point on the magic find, okay? The other thing about the Immortals is just starting as the Immortals right in the beginning, there's a whole bunch of quests to do. We have cosmetics to unlock. We basically have a whole new part of the game that our entire clan has been locked out of. Like, we have 300 players that basically haven't had a chance to be the Immortal yet. We just got our hands on the Immortal for the first time. The Covenant, shout out to Covenant. They were a very respectful opponent. They had a very long 5-weeker of a reign. So it took us a while. We were all shadows for a while. Now we actually get to play the other half of the game. So I'm actually been really kind of excited. Like, I went in the class change, becoming the monk, into now becoming like the Immortal or whatever, the big ego, you know, thing for me. Cool, who cares? But it's almost doubled down like my encouragement to continue playing the game, because the class change was actually super fun, and then becoming the Immortal was a really like fun, like sort of wholesome experience. Because like honestly, none of us expected to win. Like we went into it. I was live streamed it. It's on twitch.tv/darthmicrotransaction. You can find the VOD there. And we went into it like we were all talking like, we're not gonna win this one, because we had to win 5, and as far as we're aware, none of the other Shadow clans were gonna win. So we all gained like a massive amount of respect for the 2 Shadow clans that won and put us into the Rite of Exile, because they showed up to win, and they actually told us like, we're gonna try to beat you guys, which we all loved, because it's like, look, we actually get competition. We've been doing Shadow Wars for 5 weeks, where we do multiple Shadow Wars per week, and literally no one will show up. Me as the Immortal guy, the big guy with the sword that jumps around, and I've been soloing 1v1 other normal players, like as the Immortal boss, because people just don't show up to the clan wars. So for me, actually just having people to fight and actually being regardless of if we had lost the Immortals, like even getting into the Rite of the Exile and being able to participate and even have this part of the game be available to even play competitively, because we can't get into it, was super, just super fun and a good time. So I just want to say, like, Sunday, awesome. Shout out to Aftershock. Shout out to the other clans. Just a fun time, man. Just a fun time. I mean, really honest to God, it was just a good time. The Magic Find's really not that big of a deal, though. I'm going to be honest.